This is just another episode of the community show where I got my bullet heart. They have just announced it. They're gonna tell all the creepy stories where I did some creepy shit and I was wrong and they were right. And this time it's gonna be about merch and how just printing some shit on the t-shirt doesn't sell the t-shirt. Surprise, surprise.
Oh my god.
And that's the main offender of myself.
It's me. Yes, it's me.
What
Hello.
do you do
I'm
except
Lara.
for
I'm Lara. I'm Lara. I'm a community manager. I'm a designer. And I'm the main bully here.
the main bully on the whole server, and that's her official title. She's called the Queen, and she has removed the default rule from the server that bullying is not allowed. It is allowed now if you're the Queen.
Yes.
And on this podcast, Anna, are you a bully?
I am learning from the Queen. But in real life, I'm a writer, an engineer, and only after that, a part-time bully, an intern, you might say. And that's who I am.
Yeah, but we're talking about the marriage actually, and we're talking to amazing person.
Well,
with amazing
don't you
values.
want to introduce yourself first?
I mean, what you don't know,
He
people,
is bullying himself right
Yeah, now you're doing it yourself.
I've spent the previous 20 minutes of the stream, bullying me, and I got used to it. Like, I feel like Stockholm Syndrome right now. So,
Who the fuck are you?
Oh my god.
An imposter syndrome,
Let him
yes.
speak.
I mean-
Let him speak.
I'm sorry.
but hope you're enjoying that. You know what? Like, Alex Lakatos, he, like, advertises this stream on his Twitter as like, look, come watch how they bully Oleg. So probably this works, and it is fine. Like, the donate button is here. You can click on it and do
Oh
like
my
the
god,
amazing things.
advertisement. So
Yeah, but I do tech, I do relations, I do different things, and also I have shares, so I look young again. Can we talk about Tersha now?
yes. Your introduction was a bit boring, but we can move on.
Tersha, like you have just seen a demo. What happens if you're boring on the stream? Like so.
I'm definitely not gonna be boring, you guys. I'm gonna get in on the bullying. No, I'm kidding. I won't. I'm on your team.
But you're welcomed.
Thank you. But that stuff comes back around. You got to be careful with that. It'll come back at you. Like you can see by his face, it'll come back. So I'm Tersha. Yeah, I'm Tersha. So I co-founded Terrible, which is basically it's a platform that is helping creators increase revenue by enabling them to source and sell products to their fans, which is a really tech way of saying we help creators like find and make really cool merchandise that their fans will love, and actually help them make revenue from it, like real money, not like other merchandise companies or print on demand.
Oh my god, I loved. I was stalkering you, how I told before, and I love your values so much because I will tell the story in the beginning
About myself,
of course, about Alex. So basically, a few months ago, he's coming to me saying like, we need to make some merch. I'm like, okay, what kind of do you want? He's like, just put the name of our show on the bag and. It's fine. I'm like, no, nobody gonna buy it. It's disgusting. It's boring. It's like, nothing special about it. He's like, no, that's fine. And now I'm feeling so proud when I see the person who is saying like, no, you cannot do like this. You need to know your fans. You need to know your audience. And I'm reading this. I'm like, oh my god, I love you so much in advance.
that was a long story.
Yes,
but it is really important to make stuff that like connects to your fans. And the other thing is like if you're making merchandise, because essentially, let's think about you guys as a collective. Like you all have to love it, otherwise none of you are going to be able to sell it or like really get behind it. Like you have to love it so much that you want to wear it, and then when you want to wear it, like everyone else will want it. That's like one of the key things with making cool products is that you also have to love it.
But
So do you
like,
love
how
it?
do
That's the
you?
question.
But how do you communicate? I mean, like, imagine a boring dude talking like somebody's manager, some group's manager. I imagine that comes how it works. Comes to you and says like, look, can you like we have whatever this album cover or something else like that is everywhere, like associated with our brand, and like, can you just like do stuff with it? What do like how do you eradicate these boring people?
Well, I mean, first of all, we don't make bad merch. Like, despite the name, like we won't make bad merch. We'll only make terrible merch, which is actually really good merch. We don't want to like we don't want people to spend money on stuff that won't sell. That's bad for like everyone's business. So we help them like go through a process. So we're like, let's use this as inspiration. Like putting this on a t-shirt won't do much. Let's take the logo, let's take other assets, let's make some new assets, and let's make some things. And sometimes it's not about a t-shirt. Sometimes it's like, if you want to use the album cover, let's reimagine it as like as like an art print that's a screen printed poster, or like a postcard set, or we can do like enamel pin badges, or we can do something a little more exciting with it. Referencing, when it comes to like music merchandise especially, there's a whole album that has a whole lot of inspiration from there. Like, I'm sure almost everyone just listens to music while they're doing things, making things, being part of things. So it's like there's so much inspiration just exists in the format. It's really easy to pull stuff out of it and create really good assets. People come to us and they know that's what they're going to get, I think. So we set that precedent right from the beginning. So, I think like we often tell them when we first meet them that if they send us something that we don't think will sell well, or that it's a good product, we won't make it for them.
Yeah, I really like
So
this also approach that you said, that like we don't work with people who we don't like, or something like this. I'm not sure if it's I quite get it, but I think it was something like this. I was like, yes, this is amazing. This is amazing attitude. But can you tell whom you don't like usually? It's a bit tricky question, but is there's like some type of people that you don't like, or
I mean, like, it's definitely not specific. It's more about, you can only work on stuff that you really love and get something good out of it. So when you're working on stuff that's not particularly interesting, I think, you can really come up with a bad product. It's important when making a product and when building a business, like a product business with like an artist or a creative, that you really enjoy what they're doing, because it's going to be a very long relationship. And so, you don't want to be in long relationships with people where you don't all love each other and you don't all like each other. So it's like, especially when it comes to like creating stuff, they are, everything may appear like it's an overnight success. Everything may appear like it's just suddenly got big and everything just suddenly took off and all fell together. But really, like, it's 2-3 years in the making. So it's a long road. So you want to be on it with people you like, and you want to believe in what they're doing as well. So, I guess it's the people that are kind of being half-hearted with what they're doing, who aren't really taking it too seriously, who don't care as much as they should, and also people who don't want to run it like a business. I think creators generally need to run their run every part of their business like a business. Like, of course it's about creating, but also you need to be able to like fund the creation. So there's a seriousness that has to happen there, and a commitment to that in that way. And it's not always obvious or easy. That sometimes not everyone has that. And usually if they don't, they won't make it.
so
You know.
how much time you need to understand, do you like this person or not? Does it take a lot of time, or do you have like small conversation and you're like, we are not working with you?
She's asking
Yeah.
if like how sensitive is your bullshit detector?
Yeah.
Well, here, yeah. Like it's emotional. Like, it's definitely emotional. Like, there's something about it where there's something a little emotional. There's also something where it's like, we don't really like, if it's a band, it's like, well, we don't really like the music. None of us like the music. There's a whole team of us. We don't just it's a bit of a democracy, little bit. There has to be someone who can get behind it and like be their champion within the company. So I think usually it comes down to the team. It is just chemistry though, and also just the love of what they're doing. I think you can fight bad chemistry with content that you love. Like, if you love the content but you don't love the team, I think you can really make it work anyway, because you've got something that you really care about in there.
if there is an indie band, or let's say we approached you and we said that we want to create a merch, and how would you figure out what's the right type of merch to go with? Because as you mentioned, it's not always a t-shirt, it's not always a tote bag.
Yeah.
How would you make that connection between us as three people who are running the podcast and also our audience, which is very different?
I mean, for you guys, I would love to make some sort of toys or figurines. I think that would be really cool. I also think, yeah, like genuinely, I think those would be the best things. Or like just something where there, like there's so many fun things we could do with you guys. I think because it's also a live show and a podcast, like you could do classic things like mugs. But I think you're far too quirky and like you guys need something. If you did mugs, they'd have to be like color changing mugs, like mood ring type mugs. But I think it would have to be something like figurines or even like plushy toys, like little fluffy toys we could make out of your faces. We could turn you into
My
little
God.
characters.
Alec a few weeks ago sent us what was that? The link. He wanted to make some small sex toys out of us. As far as I
Hey,
Did
that's a great idea. That's a great idea. But that's like it's so much fun to do stuff like that. Like original shit is really good, and I think like you're like whatever your fans would connect with. What like there's so many
sex
things.
wait, like
I don't
when?
remember that.
No.
I opened Discord, I see some like sexy figure. And Alexa write
That's
it.
not fake sexy figure. That's my selfie.
Well, let's
don't
start with
remember
that
what
and
it
make
is.
some merch.
Okay.
And sell it in sex shops. Yes, perfect. Like now we have distribution
we
channel.
get
Good.
here? Oh my
Listen,
god.
listen, it's
Shall we
underrated.
register a company for that?
People who go to sex shops, they usually have like money to spend, a lot of money.
Oh my
Oh.
god.
But also, like, it's a really cool thing because it's like a really cool thing because people can literally fuck you. Literally. Is that not safe for work? Can we swear on this?
We should.
That was too good not to say it that way. It had to be
but
said that
was
way.
perfect. Oh.
Oh my god.
I just a friendly reminder. This is a podcast about communities. I mean, if you thought about like this podcast is about something else, now you're wrong. You're getting it wrong. We are talking about communities still.
Well, I did not expect this, but I'm kind of on the wave.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Since I'm suddenly I'm the most sensitive person in the room, so let me try to deal with this dialogue. Creators, like I'm browsing your website and I mostly see musicians.
Yeah.
But you still talk about creators. Like how do you have people who I know write books?
Yes, well, we work with like some comic book artists, but also here's the thing. There are like the music is where we started, and music has kind of been facing the same problems creators are now just starting to face. Like the creator economy is just kind of starting to boom online. Music went through this, like with Spotify and streaming and that kind of thing. So they've already put solutions in place. So music is like where we solved this problem, where we learned to solve this problem. And now that creators are growing big enough that they have audiences as big as some bands or some artists would have, they're coming to us. So we work with like a bunch of YouTube stars. We work with some publishers. We work with some podcasts as well. There's plenty of like little things that come in there. They're obviously, I think also when creators are looking to where they're going to go for their products and make things, sometimes they want to look. They're not looking at where what their peers are doing. Like they want to do something more original than that, so they'll come to us. We're a bit of a secret society, though. I think like once you get introduced, once you're in the fold, and other people can introduce you, then it becomes like we connect things. So we work with a bunch of like influencer managers making their stuff. there's so many little things, but those guys also, influencers and kind of YouTubers and that kind of thing, they have a lot more money than most artists would have. They've been smarter with their business models than musicians have been. So, they're building
But
brands
mostly
like
you're
big
working with musicians.
Yeah, that's where we started. So our company started in 2016. We built tech in 2019, and that's kind of where we started scaling. But we did it for music, and then influencers and comedians and authors.
Why did you
loads of
choose
people.
music, by the way?
So my co-founder, this is kind of funny. We ran like a sustainable apparel brand before this together, and then he signed to a major label as an artist. So we made merchandise for his band, and then within a month or so, through our little apparel brand, we made his merchandise. And then a month or so later, we had 30 other bands come to us, and they were like, "Can you make our stuff for us?" So we were like, "What is wrong with merchandise?" And that is a question that we're still answering and fixing. We're still fixing that problem to this day.
So what's wrong?
What's your let me, because now it'll make sense why we've called ourselves terrible. Merchandise is generally terrible. It's poor quality. It's it's not cool. It's not like a product. If you saw it in a store, if you saw it in a store next to your favorite brand, you wouldn't pick it. It's not something you would
Can
love
I
or look
chip in
after.
here saying that I am a consumer of merch? I like buying merch, but I don't because it's of a random quality. I pay 30 euros for a t-shirt and I never know if it's good or bad and if it's my size or not. And usually I do it on EMP and I stopped because it's just random. I sent 80% back of what I get from there because it's poor quality. And I stopped just buying there. So yeah, I resonate with what you're saying.
This is exactly it. And so here's the magic part of it is that when you make a great product, you actually start a relationship with your fan. They give you money, you give them a product, and you're connected. And that investment they make in you is it's like a long-term commitment. And it's the first one. And if you give them something shit, that's poor quality, that isn't cool, that isn't what it looked like or what they thought it would be, or didn't wash well, they'll never make another investment in you. So it's really important that you give your fans something that they love as much as they love the brands that they would work with. Plus, just for the future of the planet, we really need to stop making poor quality products and selling them to people. It's just it's not worth it. There's too many bad products out there. We don't need it anymore.
And I'm just thinking, I mean, the whole idea of merchandise, that's easy. It's we have this donate button, but that could have been whatever, buy a t-shirt or buy a sex toy button.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, when is the right time to think about hey, maybe I should start doing merchandise to my fans? When's the right time? Do you need...
This is a great question. I think when you can sell 50 things in, let's say, a month, that's the right time to start a relationship with your fans. And I think that gives you, and I say this because this is how you build a good business. You invest in some high quality products, you sell them when you believe you have 50 fans. So in music, it's kind of interesting. In music, it's about 22% of your fans that are listening to you and engaging with you will make a purchase. When it comes to other creators, it's much lower. It's probably about 6 or 7% that are engaging with you that'll purchase. So there is the moment, but I think when you have about 50 people who you believe within a month, if you made a cool product, would buy something, and you'll know because you'll be engaging with these people, especially as creators. That's the magic moment to do it in. So this is a mistake that people often make. They're like, yeah, I could sell them to my friends, my family, and eventually I get up that number. That's actually quite a low number. It's probably about 20 people. You can get rid of it. So you need to be able to do 50 to make it a real business, I think. And that's the magic moment at 50 of anything. And I think you've got something because it's enough that you can get a good margin on the products you're making and you can make them high enough quality without spending too much money. And it's enough so that you can make enough profit to reinvest and make more the next time, or 2 different products the next time. So this is a moment.
Yeah, but then you sort of have to run shop. And what you
Well,
want
you
to
don't-
just do funny videos on
You don't
YouTube.
have to do that. I do that for you. So this is the thing,
Ah.
like, so that's the thing, like, this is the thing about Terrible that makes us really different, is that we help artists run their whole supply chain end to end. The thing that, so they can create, like, that's the most important thing creators should be doing. There's a moment where they need to help make a great product and make sure it's relevant to their fans and make sure they love it and that their fans will love it. And most creators will want to do that. But the rest of the time, creating content, playing live shows, doing live events, playing, like, even if you're a gamer, all these things take up a lot of time. Like, you don't have time to also be going to the post office, packing things up and doing things like that. Also, as your business grows, that's really unscalable. So you need people that have like the bulk power of doing everything really efficiently for you, so it doesn't cost you as much and you get the benefits of like everyone working together, without having to like, do all the administration on it. So of course it's like, yeah, that costs money, but the way we work is that we ensure that business models are built so that they're profitable for creators. And that's like a vital thing. And that's where the technology comes in, because it helps us do things much better
It's just
and
like,
quicker.
so that's a long page. I'm thinking, like, since Anna found you at the creators Discord, where where she was amazed by you, like,
You were slamming everyone that were saying. I remember this conversation very well. The people were saying that platforms should not pay to creators, and you were saying no, they should, because
Yeah.
because they
Oh,
are doing
yeah.
marketing for you.
Yeah. I'm like really, people have devalued content. Like, this is our culture now, just because it's like changed and it's not like a painting in a gallery, which sometimes it is now, but like, it doesn't mean it's not our culture. Like, why is everyone trying to like take that value away? Anyway, that's my long-term fight. I'm like, pay for content.
Yes, let's
Oh my God.
slam the patriarchy of the content.
Yes.
Yeah. When Anna told about this, I was like, oh my God, such a brave woman. Yes. Oh my God.
Doing it on that channel as well. Those guys are like, especially because it's such a diverse community, and they're like so focused on getting funded and like building really great tools. But every single point, they're taking value away from the person who's making it. They're like taking a little slice of the pie. And I'm like, if you're going to be helping them, like, you actually have to add something. You can't just keep taking. And that's a big theme in like the creator economy tech everyone's building, is that it's just newer ways to put more obstacles in the way for creators to actually make a living out of. So I'm like, stop devaluing content. Like, we need to add value.
But
Oh my
if
God,
we
every
pivot,
day someone in my DMs, I have to say this, someone is sending me a DM on Discord or on Twitter. Hey, Anna, transfer all your content to my amazing platform. I see you have a lot of consistent content, which means you can work for me for free.
Yeah, no
Why?
more. Like, it's so wrong, because it's taking away the value we put on things that are actually really important to us. Music, reading, writing, like, these things are really important to us. They bring us together. Like, we cannot make them all like worthless. They have a value. It's so important that we fight for that. That's what keeps me up at night. That's why I will run everyone's merchandise businesses.
I'm with you. Like, ping me whenever you need. I will slime into the conversation.
Oh, me too. I'm always ready to support some fight. Like, yes, I want.
and to bully,
All
she's a
right.
professional, can recommend.
I know.
Yeah, like
she's
just
the
call
one.
us. Just call us. We will come. No
We're
worries.
ready. We're like the content Avengers. We're gonna get fucking value back.
Yes.
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 With sex toys. But
Yes, even better. We're really gonna fuck them. Literally gonna fuck them.
Beware, OnlyFans. Here we come.
if this wasn't my podcast, I still would have loved it. But look. Still thinking about Terrible Group, like, as Do you consider Terrible as a platform? I mean, we've been talking about the platform and creators, and like, I mean, you work with creators, and is Terrible a platform then? And how do you treat that? And how do you build relations to them? Since I have looked around and I haven't found a community. So what happened? How does it work?
So we do have a platform. It's in beta at the moment. It's in a closed beta. And the communities exist within that. So they exist within the teams we built it. So this is quite a niche reference, but I'm going to make it anyway. How like Spotify for artists work. There's a bunch. You can have all your team members in there. Your press, your manager, your band, everyone that's involved can like log in and see who's streaming what, where, and on what day, and what's going on. So we've built it like that. Except the teams that we work with are far bigger. So it's the creators, it's their managers, it's their press, it's their record labels, it's their, like PR, their event organizers, anyone that's helping them run their businesses and do that thing. So there's communities within that that support each other. The rest of it, of course, it's a closed beta. So everyone we know, we've let on there for now. But basically the platform that we're building, it's on one side a marketplace. So it's a B2B supply chain. It's curated. They're reliable, high quality suppliers. Everything has a bit of quality control on it. And that can work anywhere in the world. So if your fans are in the US, we can deliver to warehouses in the US. If they're in, Europe, if wherever they are, like we can manage that. Then the next part is managing all those logistics, managing the warehousing, managing the online stores, then also managing the live events. Helping everyone sell everything with what we've called Terrible Pay, which is our payment gateway.
Terrible Pay?
Yeah. Terrible Pay. It's good. It's so good. Everything's terrible. And then
I love it so much. I don't know. It's amazing.
Can we invest? Like we have like all the profits that we make from the podcast.
Oh, my $200.
Yes.
We're gonna make you guys some more money out of merch, and then we can do that. That's how we gotta do it. So the other thing it does, then it tells you what's going on, like where you're selling things, how much inventory you're holding, what you need to do next. And then of course you can access that money whenever you need it. So you can leave it in there and you can use it to remake products, or you can pull it out and spend it on your business where you need to. When creators work with us, particularly musicians, because that's who we tested it on, they made 5 times more revenue than they were making without it, because it took away all these complicated processes. And then on top of that, they made 50% profit instead of between 10 and 20 on a very small amount. So we were actually delivering a huge amount of value by solving all these like essentially logistical supply chain problems. It's very boring and unsexy when I say it like that.
I mean, when you're saying that, I want to like throw all the money I have at you, because like, I mean, what you're saying is that you're solving a huge problem and you're building a community-led business. That's pretty much what is the hottest thing in year 2021.
But here's the thing, right? Like, I can't live without culture and content and music. And the way the world is going, unless we can help creators, like really great creators who they're brilliant and this is what they do, unless we can help them make money out of this, there isn't going to be anything left. It's going to be such an afterthought. We're not going to be able to like have shows like this, or listen to brand new records, or fall in love or break up with someone and feel comforted, or like all these things. They're really important things to like our human experience. So someone has to make money out of it somehow, and we saw that so many people were taking money out of it, and that technology is already there to solve these problems. It just needed to be knitted together and given and made work for like these industries.
This just mind boggled to me. When you say that you have improved this whole process for creators, it means that there were a lot of middlemen that were getting money in the middle of the process?
Yes, yeah, which is what's happening now to the creator economy, but that's what happened to music. It's been happening to music forever. So this is why what we're doing is really important, because we can help stop this happening to creators, the growing creator economy that's now monetizing.
What I wanted to think about aloud. It's like you are building a platform instead of using something standard like, I don't know, Discord, Slack, whatsoever. Do you have a good reason for doing that? Like, did you test everything and decide, like, look, no, we have to build everything on our own?
Yeah.
Maybe to raise more millions from investors, or
Oh
maybe
God,
just because you felt like that.
Oh, I hate fundraising. It's like my absolute worst. It's the worst thing that you can do with your time. I far prefer like making and doing things and working with creators. So fundraising is my worst. I can't, anyone who enjoys that is like a special kind of person, but it's not me. But the platform, the platform itself is like, we looked for it. Like we started this company. We were just a regular merchandise company. We just put our fashion, a little fashion brand into like making merchandise. And suddenly we were like, why can't anyone make money out of this? Like, why are all these problems? Why is there money like leaking out of this whole thing? Because in fashion, every single cent is like accounted for. Every single percent is accounted for. Everyone knows exactly what costs what, and that goes into every single unit. And even if they only sell 30% of it, they're making profit. And that wasn't happening in merchandise, and that seemed really backwards to us. So we looked for the technology to solve it. And what we saw was every single problem was being solved by a different person, a different supplier, a different thing, and that all costs money. And yet all this technology exists, just no one's using it together and no one's putting it together. And so it requires people at every point. It requires like 5, 6, 7 people to do it. And suddenly nothing is profitable when you've got that many people coming into the value chain. Which is basically, this is what's happening to creators now. And this is why it's important that we put this kind of infrastructure in place to stop, all these extra people coming in doing stuff.
I just love this conversation, which means that you are against the fragmentization of the creator experience, because as a creator, like I have a newsletter and a place where I do audio interviews. I have this podcast, like it's all very fragmentized by design. So how do you feel about that?
Well, here's the thing. The way we built the platform, because this works in a lot of ways, is that you can, the parts of your business that you want to monetize with products can all come into that, and it can all be run. You can literally flick between the different profiles and the different brands, and it can all be linked to the same accounts. So you can see exactly like what's going on in your business at any point. We obviously wouldn't manage like where you're posting your stuff and doing that. Like, of course we could, like we can manage that from, we have websites, we run e-commerce stores, so we can put it there and manage it all there. But like you're making money out of doing that. You're doing things other ways in that way. And we want you to keep doing that, but we want to take care of all the, like just all the really like boring, difficult logistics and supply chain stuff. And so at the end, you can see what your fans are doing, what they love, where they are, what they're buying, where you should do more, where you need more. You can restock when you need, and it's fun. It's like it's gamified and it's cool, and you get money. You can just push a button and make more money. Like you can get that in your bank account, which is, I think, when you can see your business working, you're inspired to keep making content and keep working on it and doing things that are relevant to your fans. It doesn't quite connect to where the content are, because those are your rights. You should own them. No one should touch them. Like all creators should
I'm
keep their
glancing.
rights.
Wait, sorry. I will jump in. I'm glancing and I see that Alec is looking at your photo right now.
I prepared a piece of narrative.
I was like,
Yes,
what the fuck? This is so creepy, because I see like,
Yes.
like...
Yes. I'm so good. I prepared a piece of narrative. Listen and repeat. So I'm stalking Tersha on her Twitter, and she has a question like, what can she do with these outfits in her yoga pants? And I have a reply. I have
Let's hear
listened to this. I have listened to this podcast, and I think she can work as a billionaire, because, like, with this kind of ideas and with this kind of thing that she's building, that's pretty much what your main work gonna be.
I would
in
give
just a
you
bit.
all my money if I would have any. So, like, imagine.
Unicorn. Just to become
So,
a
Take
unicorn.
it.
well, guys, let's make your money, and I want you to keep it. That's the thing. I'll get rich doing what I'm doing, but let's all make money from content first. Let's keep the good content coming first. Like that's the first thing. Otherwise, we're all gonna like, you're gonna give me all your money. You're gonna make tons back when eventually like I exit. but we're going to have nothing to do because like there'll be no music, no culture, no art. Like we got to fight, this is it. I want to make you money. It's a big
My
difference.
God, my ears are melting. I'm just.
It's important. Like the fate of humanity depends on it, right? Like it does. What are we
On
going to
this
do without?
podcast.
It's true. I honestly, I do believe it. I sincerely believe it. I engage with so much content every day. Like you guys do, we all do. What would life be without it?
So as a spoiler, I want to show that we actually have merchandise.
We have stickers.
We have a sticker.
Nice.
Lily designed it. Anna provided a cat and a
Yes.
phrase. And there we go. You can buy it right here.
Or you can write me, I can give it
by
for
clicking
free. But
here.
oh yeah, here
yeah.
it
No,
is.
no, you're
It's
not-
like
You're not
holographic.
giving it away. That is very cool. Do not give that away. We're selling that. That is so worth buying.
Oh.
Actually, I'm going to buy one and put it on the back of my laptop. So you'll be sending me one soon.
Yeah, this is her cat, the one that was going crazy behind like Anna for the whole show. Yes.
I love it.
He was like running around like crazy. I've been watching like
But she's eating his leg.
yeah, now he's eating his leg, everything is fine.
But
He was
That's-
excited. He was excited. He could, you're going to have to give him a cut. I mean, I suppose you do because he lives rent free, right? Yeah, you have to give him a cut of the sticker money because it's his merch. But I guess he already lives rent free and has his food paid for. So
Of course.
Yeah. He's
I
like
know.
YOLO.
I'm enjoying this conversation, and it's so fun that we wish each other all the best and all the millions that we can make together and
Yes.
separately. But I think it's time to go back to work and and print some sex toys.
I think so. Yes. Thank you so much for having me, you
Disgusting.
guys.
Yeah,
It's
thank
been
you
so
that
much
you came
fun.
to our podcast. We too.
Yeah, I've had the best time. It's been the best.
Cool. Thank you, people. I had amazing. Look, see the shadow? That's her.
I love it.
Magic
Goodbye,
tree.
people. It was a pleasure.
Goodbye.
It was super fun. Goodbye.